Negative, boss. She was damn near on E when we came aboard, and the umbilical to the refueling ship got fried during the firefight with the Phantoms. As it stands, we're lucky to even have sublight propulsion. But a full-on hyperspace jump is out of the question.
Lee pursed his lips. Okay, so we stick with the original plan and try to hold out for the cavalry. How's everyone doing on ammo?
Munitions reserves down to 73%, Hamish answered.
68% here, Danny followed. Mac? Hanging in there, Lee, she frowned, poring over the data from her tactical station beside Link.
Between me, Danny, and Hamish, I think we can hold our own with the Phantoms, but that destroyer will cream us if we get drawn into range of its forward batteries. Those suckers are 120-pounders, and they'll make mincemeat out of this tub's armor.
Where the hell is the fleet, Lee? Link roared in protest.
No sooner had the angry words jumped from his lips, the peaceful, empty space surrounding the Alasterian ships filled with an elaborate chain reaction of vibrant blue flashes. And within seconds, the stagnant blockade found itself nose to nose, with not 3, but 8 Oran battleships, each one emerging from hyperspace with fighters in tubes and weapons hot.
It's about bloody time,
Hamish bellowed through the comms, swiveling around in his slider's chair toward the imminent attack.
Looks like they brought friends, too, Link noted. Daredevil, this is Praetorian. Do you read?
A familiar voice called out. 5 by 5, Admiral, go ahead, Lee said, gliding the Mako past the transport's massive rear thrusters and into the lead position out front.
We've picked up your transponder, but you're considerably farther out than we anticipated, and we're taking heavy fire as it is, Catal announced over the booming in the background. It's going to take us some time to get to you. Roger that. We're on our way to your position. But we've got a destroyer and 2 squadrons inbound as we speak, and frankly, sir, that's a lot of firepower for one Mako and an ancillary transport ship. Yeah, about that. What part of inconspicuous did you not understand? Sorry, sir, but we kind of ran across 276 Oran civilians in need of a lift, and we just didn't think it neighborly of us to not oblige, if you know what I mean.
Bandit, this is Hurricane. You make dust off yet? Regan answered after a moment of static.
Roger that, Hurricane. Just now. Rainmaker is breathing down our necks to bail off this rock. So where are you guys? Just outside the CIC, heading south toward the mine in an Alasterian fuel tanker. A frickin' fuel tanker? A familiar gruff voice invaded the comm. Subtle, Crockett. Real subtle. Good to hear you too, Jester, Danny said, grinning at the sound of his longtime friend Link Baxter's voice. Your better half with you? Layla here, Hurricane, Shannon Baxter said. Somehow, I figured when the time came for our favorite CO to send somebody down, you two would be the only ones crazy enough to accept. Tell me about it, Link said. I'd like to state for the record, though, that when we agreed to do this, it was with the understanding that I'd swoop in, scoop up you and your boys, then beat it back to my cushy spot in the Keystone Drop Bay. Nobody said jack about this little hornet's nest. Where'd you come up with this crap anyway? The Death Wish movies? Sorry, bro, but it had to be done, Danny said. For what it's worth, I would have used Lee's little blow-the-target from the inside-out trick had the Greys not cracked it after Dulliston. Yeah, whatever, Link said. Save your excuses for your old lady. I'd suggest, however, breaking them to her over a box of French chocolates and a good bottle of California Red when you do, lest your balls end up in one of her beakers. Then again, he said with a laugh, that might be a foregone conclusion when she finds out about your bombshell gig. Not a good time for this right now. Danny buried his face in his arm as another wave of ricochets pelted the cab's exterior. Hey, man, you know how pissed she gets when... Can you get us or not, Jester? I need a minute, Tool. Even with Layla on my wing, I still got creamed in 23 when I touched down for your crew. I had to circle clear back to 47 just to get free of it. Fine, Danny snarled, looking up to see the cavernous entrance to the mine looming dead ahead. How long? 5 mics, give or take. You've got 3, Danny said. Dumbass, Link remarked. Where, oh where do you propose I pick you up?
And hoped like crazy for the best.
XL, full spread,
Danny toppled under his own heft and face planted into the snow, his view flickering dark save for a small battery icon.
Activate.
No response.
Activate.
Nothing.
Come on, Mr. Black. Get your ass up.
Still nothing. Danny accessed his battery, which had barely enough power for an emergency redose, and used it to key his faceplate. It opened, and the cold that flooded in could have frozen the soul. Danny gritted his teeth and dared a squint. His eyes opened wide when the dart, now primed for the kill shot, descended on his team.
Doc, shots, get out of...
The dart's starboard nacelle exploded, as if struck by Zeus himself. What the hell? Shards of flaming debris flew from the smashed engine housing as the ship coughed and sputtered amid plumes of black smoke. Somehow, though, it managed to right itself, and once that happened, it wasted little time getting out of there. Who in the world is that? Befuddlement was thick in Schatz's voice. Danny managed just enough strength to crane his head upwards as the underbelly of a second ship flew overhead. Short and frumpy-looking, with a thick, boxy frame and small, stubby wings, the freighter bore a striking resemblance to an oversized UPS truck. Or, at least, that was how Danny had always described it in the past. Is that a... Doc broke off. A Newburn-class freighter? Danny held his response, eyes fixed on the sky as a deluge of mixed emotion poured over him. Yes, Mr. Blue. Yes, it is. Who in the world still flies one of those old beaters? Schatz marveled. And where'd they get the weapons package? Key juice release 10%. Danny waited while Mr. Black's systems came back online. Then he climbed to his feet. Not important right now, Mr. Ed. Just get to the ravine and prep to move out for Linder. I'm right behind you.